Little did I know when I was 6 years old, starting on the stage in my first theatrical production, that I would use the skills that I learned in theater to help clients, both here in the United States and Canada, improve what they do by getting their message out over the internet. So, how do you power your profits through video marketing? I think a lot of people think that they put a video on their website, somebody comes to their website, they see the video, end of story. That isn't even the beginning of the story. We can put a lot of video messages out onto the internet to let people see what is going on. That leads them to our website, or leads them to a landing page that then goes to their website. How many people are using video already? Okay, so we have a little bit further to go, don't we? We have a little bit further to go. All right. If you're expecting a boring PowerPoint as the presentation today, I'm sorry, I've already disappointed you. Because that's not what we're going to do today. We're going to use a lot of video as examples of what I'm doing. Because why do something on video and then not do it? Right? So I'm going to show you that. And by the end, you ought to know a variety of styles of video that you can use online. And maybe a little bit about how you can actually produce those videos. This is not rocket science. I did not have to study the way we study the Torah to be able to teach it to other people to do this. Right? I did not go to school to learn all of this. I learned all this. All right, I did start at 11 in video production with a guy from DuPont who was at the theater where I was coming in as a youngster, my first show at 6, and he was a scientist for DuPont, and his job was to invent VHS tape. So he would bring it to the theater, we would rehearse shows, we would record it, 3 cameras, there I am directing at age 11, 3-camera video shoots. You look back on your life, you can see where you came from. We don't always know where we're going, of course, but we can look back and see it. So you'll have a chance to be able to do these on your own. Or you email me and say, hey, Charlie, here's some of my ideas, what can I do? Or, hey, Charlie, I really got enough of what I'm doing in my own business. I need some help. I need somebody to do the video. So we'll show you some of that. Okay. Do me a favor and raise your hand. I don't care which hand. Just raise your hand. Right. Okay. Now I want you to raise it as high as you can to touch the ceiling, as absolutely as high as you can. Okay. Now I want to see who can raise his or her hand the highest. You've already done what I'm looking for. Okay, thank you very much. You're going to get a copy of my best-selling Amazon.com book because you did something that was a little different. Thank you very much. Hey, you, don't stand out, get out. Because he got out of the crowd and he did it a little differently. Interesting how when we say we're raising our hand as high as we can, all of a sudden we can raise it higher. We can do things a little differently in our own marketing. I have some examples here. I'm going to start right off with these. What is this?
Pencil, writing instrument.
Pencil, writing instrument. Anybody else?
Wood with graphite.
Wood with graphite.
A pointer.
A pointer. Yep.
Eraser holder.
Say that once again.
An eraser holder.
An eraser holder. A weapon, something to put behind my ear at times. Call myself a manager by putting the pencil behind my ear. Okay? So I'll go with all of those, and I'm aiming it in the writing direction. What is this?
Pencil.
Wait a minute, but that's not the same as this. How can this be a pencil?
A mechanical pencil.
Okay, so it's also a pencil. What is this? Okay, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to call this a pencil with ink. Okay? But that's what it is. This is a pen. So these all have great potential for what they can do. You've all had at least one of those in your hands. How many people have written the best-selling novel because you had a pencil? Okay. How many people have either had Word Perfect, or if you go back as far as I do, anybody remember WordStar? Yeah. How many people have Word Perfect, something like that, right? Have you written your best-selling novel with that? No. These are tools, aren't they? Mm-hmm. They are tools that allow us to do things when we know what we're doing with them. So you'll see around the room there are some video cameras. There's one that many of you can't see. It's a GoPro that's down here. So when I step out of the view of these cameras, I trust that one is going to capture me. Why? Because I will put together a video after this of what this presentation is. Why? Because why deliver something to 18 people and have it then die? Let's put it out on the internet. I'm going to suggest to you that anytime you get up and speak, and by all means, please come here and speak and share your knowledge with other people. Right, Rabbi? All right, Jeffrey? Yeah. Okay, so you want to be able to share this information with other people. Anytime you speak, get up and record it. I'm going to suggest video is the best way. Why? Because you have the pictures and you have the audio. If all you can do is hang a lav on yourself and record it, or take out your cell phone and turn the record mode on, you can record it. So those are video cameras. What's this?
Is it video camera?
It's also a video camera, isn't it? I did a whole video down at the shore, not this summer, the summer before, of my grandson to prove that I could do the entire thing on here. Truth be told, and this is the best-selling phone for all of you iPhone users, I will just tease you a little bit. This is the Galaxy S3. I had to turn the quality of the video down on this phone. It was too much. I didn't need all that. Now, I'm not doing things to take into a movie theater to project it, right? This is about as much projecting as I'll ever do. Most of my material lives online. So I am not broadcast ready with the things that I do, but this is where I want to get to people. So the easiest video for you to create is what I call one camera, one take. One camera, one take. Hi, it's Charlie Seymour Jr. and I'm here speaking to the Business Network. Hey, you want to give us a little idea? Speak, speak, speak. Come back, look at my website. You'll find out where his link is. Done. No editing. Put it up on the internet. Simple. Done. Okay? Who cannot do that? Okay, now you're all deputized that you now can produce videos, right? So there's our first lesson, Rabbi. We've already learned that, right? So we're at least that far along. I'm going to show you here some examples of some videos that I've done where you see lots of examples going fairly quickly. I'm going to show you some longer pieces of some things to get a sense of what's going on. Let's see about grabbing some attention. Attention grabbers are those videos that are designed to stop people in their tracks and get them to pay attention to you. These can be for a product or service, an upcoming event, or as a pattern interrupt in a whole video series. Attention grabbers. We can do this sort of thing out on the internet all the time to attract people to us. Here are 6 things that we do at the Chabad, and I want to let the world know about it. Find out more, come over here. Nothing more than an attention grabber. So that is that style of video. Now, somewhere between that and a fully edited video is sitting, looking at the camera. So I've got a camera right here. Just look at the camera and speak. I've got something right behind me. I've got a fairly plain wall. I've got some plants, or I have some photographs on either side, and I'm centered in between. That's pretty simple to do. This next example goes a little beyond that, where I've put some other images in it, but there are other things I want to show you here. What I did to create it. Yes, there's a message to it, so you can listen to the message of it as well. But what I did to create it, and then we'll go that next step beyond what we're doing here. One of my websites, Lessons from My Grandson. People have asked me, why am I spending so much time creating this video series? Let me tell you. One night I was in my grandson's room as he was about to go to bed. I had him in my arms, I had his bottle, I was feeding him his bottle. We were cuddling. He was relaxing. He was getting ready for bed. It wasn't this chair, but this is the chair that I rocked his mother to sleep in many years earlier. So I'm holding Beckett, the room is dark, the sound machine is on, my senses are overloading, and I thought, What if I die right now? He'll grow up not knowing me. You know, I'd never had a moment like that before. One of those moments that you can mark your life on. Those moments that you can look back to say to yourself, that was really a life-changing moment. It was the first time that I thought of legacy, of what am I leaving behind, let alone what am I working on right now. So I thought, I want to create something for him. I hope you enjoy it too, but something for him. He has taught me so many lessons. As we're starting, he's 18 months old, and I see something new in him every time we're together. We live fairly close. Pam and I enjoy being grandparents and having him come over. Then I read the book, The Icarus Deception. How High Will You Fly? You know, Seth Godin says, you've got to be an artist. You've got to get out there. You've got to go do something different. You've got to help other people. Don't just sit back and relax. Get out there and do something. This is my way of doing that. So Beckett, here are some lessons you've taught me. Some people say never share the stage with children on Animal. I will always share the stage with him. Let's look at how that was put together. First of all, there are what I call bumpers. There's a beginning and end. Think of a car with bumpers. So there's that part that had all those pictures that were going by, and you got a little bit of him sucking on that, right? And then there was the ending that said, okay, this is coming out every Thursday. Bumpers, message in the middle. Then on this series, I do what I call bonus video, and it's whatever else I want to do that shows something about what I'm doing with my grandson and not teaching the lesson that's going on here. Then there was what we call lower third, the text. I think it used to be that it was in the top third, the middle third, and the lower third. It's really like the lower 20%, but we still call it the lower third. It's text. So we're telling a story in the pictures. Did you hear a little music in the background? There's a little music in the background to tie all of this together. There were some still images that were edited in on top of the voiceover, so the voice is another part of it as well. So we tell lots of stories all at once, and we just absorb it, because we're used to it from television. You're watching Channel 6, and there's Jim, and they're putting things going on, and sometimes they have a ticker, whatever it turns out to be. That's what's going on here. It's not all that much more difficult. But yeah, does it take a little bit of artistry? Okay, I didn't start yesterday with it, but you can do video like that. I don't believe I had any green screen or any other, gymnastics in this video. So just take some stills, put that in with your other video. So it's a step up from that one camera, one take. Okay, the easiest way for you to get your message out with other people, out to the internet, out to those others, is in an interview. If we sat here and had a conversation, we could easily have a conversation, right? People get really afraid when they stand in front of a camera sometimes. I'm not sure why. You know that on a scale that most people say that what I'm doing right now is worse than death for them is to stand up and talk to other people. And they think that when they see the little tally light on their... Oh no, but the truth be told about video is it's ones and zeros. We throw it away. We don't like it, we throw it away, we do it again. Do you think I did well, I did do all that in one take, but do you think normally I do it in one take? No. You throw it away if you don't like it. So, we're going to see at this point, and you have kind of the agenda that I'm doing if you want to follow it right along, which means that I really have to deliver all of it. It's on the back of that sheet. Here is an interview series. You're going to just see a few things. Notice how relaxed the people are. I will tell you that in the video. But it's so easy. And you are always elevated when you are the one being interviewed. Oprah doesn't interview people that don't matter. And so we all carry that over with us too. If somebody's sitting there asking you questions, you carry over a little that halo effect.
Interviews are the easiest way for people to get their information across and then get it distributed throughout the internet. All people have to do is talk with me as I record it. It's also a great way to write blog posts by transcribing the interview or even a book. Notice how relaxed most people are in these interviews. And none of them is a professional guest, only a business person, a professional, clergyman, and more.
So is there anyone in the room who feels that he or she couldn't sit and answer some questions that you've already gone over? You've already written up what those questions are. You already know basically what the answers are. It's a little like I have an outline today. I don't know all the specific words that I'm saying ahead of time, but you know what's going on. So it's not that difficult to do. An interview is a very easy way to do it. I'll give you another technique that you can do with that. You can interview yourself. Just cut out the part where you ask the question. So there are a couple places that we can look at the camera. We can look straight on at the camera, and that really is invading your space, and that's jumping right into your brain. We don't always want to do that. Sometimes we set it off like 10 degrees. Watch your local newscast next time. Notice that the person is talking here where the camera is here. So that we're not, as we say in the theater, we're not going past that fourth wall. We're not coming out into the crowd. If I wanted to walk up to Ree right now, I could walk up to Ree. So sometimes we don't want to deliver that message straight on. Standing is a stronger position than sitting. Notice in the first video that I did, playing the grandfather, I'm literally there in what? Who remembers? A rocking chair. I mean, how much more comfortable can it look to allow people to come in? Notice the emotion that was delivered there too. Notice how the opening up and telling people things. So many people are afraid to let other people inside with, I'm this business person. I've sold $250 million worth of real estate, so I understand real estate and I understand business, and right? So, but people want to work with people. You come to this group because you're comfortable within this group, right? Just to start off. So let people see who you are and what you're doing on that. So in interviews, you can say, Charlie, what do you think of such and such? You know, I think it's really important that we go ahead and, right, and just interview yourself. Cut out those other parts. Very, very effective way to do it. Interviews, the easiest way for you to be relaxed and get things out on what's going on. So, what is the impact of videos on the internet? I'll give a quick story. Years ago, I think I was still in high school, and I go up to Swarthmore College. I live down near Swarthmore College, and there's a circle up there, and there was this reporter named Bob. And I yell out the window, "Hey, Bob!" And my friends in the car go, "How can you call him Bob?" I felt that I knew him. We think we know people on television, don't we? Or in the movies. Julia Roberts walks in right now. Julia, come in, sit down. You feel like you know. I should only know Julia Roberts. I don't know Julia Roberts. Right? But we feel we do. Same thing happens here on video. People get a sense of who you are. They feel they know you. So we will see a little bit of that in this video, which happens to be one of a series of what I'm doing. So I'm showing you styles of video, but I'm also showing you the result on this one of what happens when you're seen a lot on video.
I went to a meetup the other day, and this very nice woman, her name is Carol. Hi, Carol. She leaned across after hearing me speaking with somebody else, and she said, "You're Charlie Seymour Jr. You're famous. You're all over the internet. I see your videos everywhere." I guess that's one of the reasons I do video, right? This is not what I said to her. I talked to her about how she can do videos. You know, I can still remember when I was a kid, I drove up to Swarthmore College and there was this circle up there. And there was one of the local newscasters. His name was Bob. And he was interviewing different people. And I called out to the window to him and waved over to him. Hey, Bob, how are you? My friend said, how can you call him that? I felt like I knew him. Don't you feel like you know people that are in the movies, that are on television, that do your local news? Don't you think you get to know them and really feel that there's someone you have known for a long time? You get comfortable. That's what happens with video. It's always fun for us when we go somewhere and somebody calls across to us or just walks up and says, hi, Dr. Mark. Hi, Charlie. Well, the only people that call him Dr. Mark are those that have seen him here on our videos. I made that up. His wife is also a doctor. They're both psychologists. So I tease and call her Dr. Deb, which people don't really call her. But people get to know you on video. Can you see the power of video? Can you see why there were some people at that meetup who came across the room to talk to me after hearing Carol? Thank you again, Carol. That was very nice of you to say it that way. Then 2 days later, I saw Carol again. And we're talking about, does Carol, within her own business, she does a lot of graphic design, does she have any video services? And she said to the buddy sitting next to me, she said she didn't. I said, Carol, of course you do. You have me. So we can work together. That's one of the joys of this. We all can work together. Dr. Mark and I do not clean out our own gutters. We don't, well, he may cut his grass. I don't cut my grass. I don't service my own car. I go to experts to do that. That's what this society's we're all doing in it. So go ahead and use experts. See why video is so important and get those videos out there. You need to be, hey, you're everywhere on the internet too.
Okay, the production values on here were a little higher than the ones we've seen before. How did I keep changing the pictures behind me? Green screen, and so I'm dropping in other things on there. Do we have to speak perfectly all the time when we're on video? Clearly not, because you heard me stuttering and kind of slipping over some words. You're just being a human. I could have cut that and I could have done other things with it. Just get out there and talk. Normally, when I do a video like this, I may have 3 or 4 points that I want to get across, and I just talk. You will never see me on a video reading what's on a teleprompter. I don't believe in it. Because no matter how good you are, unless you're like a Jim Gardner, people are going to see your eyes going across like this, and you are going to stutter talk as you do. So be real. All of us can get up and give the talk that you gave this morning. We're not all at the same comfort level of doing it, but we all can get up and do it. You can think of 3 or 4 points you want to get across in a video, and if you stumble at some point, think what you want to do, put your head down, put it back up, smile, and start again, and you're just going to edit that part out. Okay? So, a little higher in the production values. What if you have products or services that you want to put out onto the internet and get people to see what it is? We'll see some examples of those right here.
Product demonstration videos don't have to be as elaborate as you find on QVC or in infomercials. But statistics show that people are 174% more likely to purchase a product when a video accompanies it. And it shows how it works.
Let me guess, you guys are from the college.
Yeah.
You got it from the college. So, what is the fall fair going to do for you here at the college?
We literally, last year, we woke up at 10 and got here, and we made a promise to ourselves that we'd get here this year, 9:30. We got here at 9:30.
He's taking it under the grinding head, which he then will set so that it'll be very precise when he starts it up.
Plus motif, the only case you need for function, the only case you need for fashion. And with all the colors and designs, you need more than one. Plus motif, function, fashion, in a snap.
Okay, so I said it didn't have to be QVC. She happens to be on QVC and appeared in our commercial this time for our client, Andy. So again, a little higher in the production values there. She was green screen 3 layers on top because she appeared in each different area. So we're just showing some more value of what we could do. And you get a sense of that. You get a feel for when that value goes up as opposed to simply sitting there and talking to the screen. So that's where you can take things as you go a little higher. So what are the things that you can do? I'm going to keep my list in my hand this time. To get ready for some videos. Here's what I'm going to suggest for you, and they're the bullet points in black at the bottom. The first thing is for you to write 10 FAQs and SAQs and your call to action. Okay, now we all know FAQs, right? Frequently asked questions. You go to a meeting like this. You go to a town barbecue. You go to wherever and people ask you questions about what you do. What are they asking you? What are those frequent questions? What are the answers that you want to have for that? Okay? Those are the FAQs. Anybody other than Jeffrey and Ree? I'll save you if you don't, that knows what an SAQ is. Go ahead.
Sometimes should ask questions.
Correct. Should ask questions. They don't know enough about your business yet to ask that question. When I was doing bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvah photography, people would call up and say, how much for an 8x10? Well, that's not really what they want to know. Am I going to capture those special moments? What does the album look like? That's really, but the only question they know to ask is, how much for an 8x10? Well, nobody would come to me if they only knew what the price of an 8x10 was, because I was real expensive. And I was more expensive than most people doing the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah photography. Why? Because I was good at the marketing of it. There's always going to be somebody with a bigger camera and does a better job in the photography of it. But putting it out there together, capturing those moments, being with the family, not getting in the way, right? At a time like they're dancing the hora and I'm in the middle of it, no thank you. You know, I'm back out of the way of what's going on. So that's why we're able to do that. So write down 10 FAQs and SAQs. Now, a call to action. What do you want people to do? You've seen at the end of every single one of these videos where I've said, contact Charlie Seymour Jr. Right? Is the website in your mind yet, Charlie the Marketer? If it isn't, then I haven't done my job right here. But that's what you want to call to action. Don't assume people know what to do. They don't. When they come to your website, when you have a website video, tell them what's on the website. Tell them what they can do with what's on the website. Don't tell them what to do with what's on the website. Just tell them what they can do with it and what you would, have here to share with them. It's important. Welcome them. Tell them what's here. Tell them what to do and how to follow up with you. So that's your call to action. It's different for each one of us. Okay. The second thing, record 5 videos plus an opening and closing bumper. Remember the car, front and back. So if you want to do a series and save yourself some time, when I do my power marketing lessons, I have a bumper that introduces it all the time. So I don't have to start off and say, hi, this is Charlie and this is a power marketing lesson. No, I don't need to do that. So that's what a bumper would be on the end, and then the bumper on the front end, and the back end would be generally the call to action if it's the same call to action. Okay? So that's what I'm suggesting. Then it is put it together. Put them together. And then what I say here is syndicate them throughout the internet. There are lots of video sharing sites. We all know YouTube, but there are lots of them. And they're all looking for video. So if you go search something with my name or a keyword that I'm on, you may find the same video appearing in the Google search results 4 or 5 times on the same page. I'm going to dominate that page because it's being fed from all those different sites. That's one of the secrets. That's what I was talking about earlier, how to power your profits. You want your short videos out all over the internet. You can have longer ones too, but nobody's going to watch the much longer one just to get that snippet. You want to give them a little bit, send them over to your site. So you can either put that together, email me and say, oh, I'm having difficulty doing this. My email is right on here. Right? Charlie@charliethemarketer.com, and say, this is what I'm trying to do. Or you email me and say, look, I'm really deep into my business. I know I need this. I'm not the right guy to do this. As I say, I don't do my own gutters. I don't cut my lawn. We have an association that takes care of that, bless you, because I'm doing too many other things. We can't all do everything, right? So know that you can do that. So I think we all can write 10 FAQs that people always are asking us.
I'm sorry, what is FAQ?
FAQ, sorry, frequently asked question. Yeah, what people ask you all the time about what you do. Frequently asked question. And then 10 should ask question. If you have more difficulty with a should ask question than the frequently asked, I can understand that, right? We don't always know what people should know about our business because we just do our business. Do you really need to know the frame rate of the cameras that I have running right now? No, I don't think so. Would it be nice to see some of the results and that, have you walk out of here today to say, yeah, that guy can do video. We know he can do video, right? That's what you need to do. And same thing in your business. FAQ, SAQ, just write them down. And then you can create videos. So if you want to go do this and use the power of the internet with marketing and use it in videos. Now again, we can also take the audio from that. So I made a presentation when I had about an hour's notice, and it was all on YouTube marketing. I didn't have my video equipment with me. I did have my cell phone, but I wasn't going to stand here and go like this the entire talk. So I put the cell phone down on the table and I recorded the audio. I recorded the audio for Ree at one of her talks. And then you put the audio up with a few photographs. At least you're putting up material. Okay? That's what you really want to do. Okay, now, I have a bonus video here at the end if we really want to. We got a couple more minutes. Hopefully it's not too risque for anybody. You're going to see a different side of me in this video. It's going to be an attention grabber, and it's a product. This is a real business, believe it or not, when you see it. So another side of Charlie in this video.
Two burritos, please. Thank you.
Don't let this ever happen to you. With toiletpapervalet.com, you'll never go without toilet paper again, and you'll never have to leave your house to get it. Because with toiletpapervalet.com, getting your toilet paper, it's just as easy as picking up your mail. So sign up and have your order delivered each month right to your door for less than it would cost you to go to the store. Forget loading those bulky packages of mega-sized toilet paper into the back of your car. Let Toilet Paper Valet do all the bulky moving so you can focus on the most important movement of your day. Sign up right now. toiletpapervalet.com. Always delivering just in time.
Friends saw that and they didn't believe that it was real. I decided years ago that I don't get embarrassed. It's a wasted emotion. And my wife said, well, maybe you should. However, let's say another side of you. Okay, what questions do we have at this point as we wrap up here? Who thinks they can go and create a video? Right? You've seen some pretty easy ways to do it too. Yes, question.
Off to the side, or is that during interviews?
With it. If I'm teaching a lesson directly to somebody and I say I want you to pay it, I want to talk directly to them. If it's that I want them to feel that they're observing what's going on and I'm being interviewed, then you want it to be slightly off of here. Personally, I always look to see, and I always did it in my portrait photography work too, I want to see both eyes. You certainly don't want somebody, this would be 90 degrees, right? Half would be 45 degrees. Maybe you're about 10 degrees off of what's going here, just so you're not looking right into somebody's eyes, their soul, when they're on the camera, depending on what you want to do with it. Rhea, you had a question.
I understand how to capture the video or the audio. My problem is editing. What do I do from that? I'm using beautiful audio.
If you can use Word, you can edit video these days. I can't guarantee your first one you're going to get to some of the level of some of the things you've seen here. I've been working at it for a little while. But if you can do Word, you see where the pictures come across, you see the wave of where the sound is, you see right before you go, oops, that you want to cut it, and then you put other things in there. So, if you're on Windows, Windows Movie Maker comes with it. Now, depending on the version, maybe you have to go online and download a free version of it, but it's all free to you. If you're on the Mac, iMovie. I don't know whether you saw anything that was iMovie or not. I can tell you that the cameras, as I was telling Rabbi, the cameras I have here in the room at the moment are all $300 or less. So this is not prohibitive. When I started in photography business in the year 2000, I think I probably spent $30,000 on equipment, right? Wow, what that could do these days. So then you edit it, you put it out as a final version. I put things on YouTube all the time. Pardon me, I want the power of YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine. It's the #1 search engine when people start their question with, how do I, or how to. And then it feeds into Google. Sometimes it feeds really quickly and really well, and sometimes we have difficulty doing things online these days with it, just depending on what Google is thinking these days. So can I give you a real easy answer on it? Other than if you can use Word, you can do it. There was a question here and then one here. Yes? Okay, so you're an educator and you're also an engineer, and is there value of putting video about you on the internet? I'm going to give you a very easy answer and everybody can say it with me. What's the word? Yes. Here's the reason that I say it that way. I wish that everybody who needed to have something to do with video would go search it and they'd search on my name. Rabbi, I got to tell you, they don't all know my name. I don't know how that happens, Jeffrey, that they don't know my name, but they don't know my name. But when they find out about me, as all of you have in this room today, you're going to go search and say, who is this person? And 97% of people that want to work with you in one way or another are going to go search you online these days. It may be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, it hasn't been all that long that they've made it easy to put videos on. I added 6 videos yesterday into a new area of what I was creating. If you've got it on YouTube, you put the link in and boom, it's right there, and the whole description and everything is right there, okay? So, yes, it makes some sense, and if they want to hire you to be a teacher, they want to be comfortable coming to their, I'm going to go here and then I'll come over to you. There's a reason to put video about it. Now, we like to do things with people that we like. Maybe you like sailing. Maybe you have dogs. Put some things on that way so that people get a sense of who you are. This is one of the ways I've always described it. I grew up in the Pennsylvania suburbs, and in our little, as we used to call it back then, the little ticky-tacky boxes, because they all looked in a row and they were all the same, there was a fence, split rail fence down between the neighbors. And you'd come up to the neighbor and you'd talk across the fence. Well, this is what we are doing now on the internet, and that we want to do on the internet. If we walked up every time to somebody and said, buy my crap, they wouldn't walk up to the fence anymore. But if you talk about the dogs and the sailing and your children, your grandchildren, whatever else it is, lessons from my grandson, which may turn out into a whole wing of things that I'm going to be doing, but it's another way to show who I am, and you can't walk away from those not knowing that I do video. Right? It doesn't come out and scream he does video, but at least it says it. So I think there are a lot of reasons. Yes, you had a comment or a question? Yeah, make a comment. Go ahead.
So, you want them hungry for what you have to sell, and I think that video is just an instrumental part of that.
Yeah, my example on that would be that I want you to be an 8, 9, or a 10 on a scale of 10 that they want to do business with you before they call you. If it's not, then you have a marketing problem, not a sales problem. I get all these people calling me and they don't do business with me. Well, are they an 8, 9, and a 10? Have you given them enough information before they arrived? And if you're a I'm going to go over here, yeah. But if you're a professional where somebody comes into your business because of you, you need to be on camera on video. You notice a lot of the time I was the voiceover on this. Though you'd probably say I appeared on camera for most of it. I really was the voiceover for at least a third of the material that was going on here. But if you're that professional that is going to see people face to face, and it's not simply a product that you're selling, you ought to be on camera as well. Let's get you comfortable being on camera. Yes, here, we'll go here.
All right. My question is for a regular business, a small business, is it better to be more polished or more frequent?
I've just been reading a terrific book, so I'm going to challenge your assumptions on that. Okay? And I'm going to wrap the new in the familiar. One of my new favorite phrases, wrap the new in the familiar. If you walk into a community theater production and you're expecting an orchestra and they have this tinny sounding recorded orchestra, you're very disappointed. If you walk in and see this nice piano and that piano is really played well, you're ecstatic. So what you've done is you've set the expectations of that person beforehand to say this is what you can expect. So people aren't believing advertising much these days. It's like 3 to 7%, something like that, but they'll believe their friend on Facebook. So I would want to look and see exactly what are we doing with that executive. Is this the executive who's walking out with the dogs? Or, you know, if he's going sailing, he's not saying he's a common person, right? Right? Okay, so we have to look at that and see what it is. So I don't know that we have to have it totally polished. Remember some of the movies where they had, I mean, I get motion sick, so I can't watch these things, but the camera's all bouncing around. It's a style. I would test it. Go here and then over to here.
Yeah, and the rules of the game are changing, as Charlie's saying. You know, it's all about being authentic and keeping it real. And even another word I've heard frequently is raw. You'll be surprised how many video marketers are saying this is raw, uncut video. That keeps it real, keeps it fresh, and they're killing it in the internet marketing business.
And like it's behind the scenes video sometimes too, yes.
What is the most effective length?
Most effective length.
Parameter.
Yeah. Again, it depends on what you're doing. Here's an example that I often will use. How do people find out information about you? They go to a search engine and they type in some words. Google's trying to change that because a lot of us are now talking into our phones, and so we're giving complete sentences, and they're trying to figure out what did you really mean around that complete sentence. But if you're online and you're putting in, let's say you have sore shoulder. I don't know why I ever started this. I'm not a doctor. I've never had a sore shoulder in my life. But anyway, this is the example I've come to use. Sore shoulder, or how do I fix my sore shoulder? You want to have 60 to 90 seconds of a video that gives some answers that sends them on for something else. If what it said was, hi, I'm Dr. Bob, and come to my website, and you get there and it's about the neck and the shoulder and the knee, and you get so lost you will never come back. But if you answer that one little specific thing in 60 to 90 seconds, the little videos that I interspersed in my longer ones, they were all about 90 seconds. It's enough to give some information and a call to action. That's what I'd recommend. However, I will tell you, people still go to the movies and sit there for 2 hours. If they're interested, they will pay attention to it. If they're just searching for some information, keep it short. Let me give you another example too. Let me wrap that in what may be familiar to people. Doctors. Do we have any doctors in the room? I don't think I heard doctor in the room. Okay. Almost. Okay. So, Dr. Sugg, yeah, okay. So, do you know in the mainline health, which is Riddle Hospital, and you know they've got all their hospitals now, there are 100 cardiologists. Do you think every single one of them is the same qualified person to slit you open and to change veins and all that sort of thing? Do you want to know a little bit about them? But what happens? Mainline Health goes and spends all this money on come to Mainline Health. And those doctors, many of whom have had their businesses bought up by those hospital chains, have now become very small cogs in that very large wheel. I'm going to tell you, if I had the debt and the education that those doctors have, there's no way in hell I would allow them to have that over, because how do I know I'm ever going to get it? If Joe Schmo always gets that and Sam Smith never gets the appointments, this guy's going all right. The home office, like yours, doesn't care. They're still making their money. But that's not for the individual, so I wouldn't do it that way. Yes, Rabbi.
Just a practical thing. You said you upload the videos on YouTube.
Yes.
Then you said when you do a search for Charlie Seymour, you're going to come with 5 hits. Is it all the same YouTube, or are you putting the links on different pages?
Okay. My recommendation is that you put it one time in YouTube and go to other video display areas on the internet, and you can find them just by saying, where else can I display my videos?
You upload it to more than one.
And you upload it to more than one. Yes. And it's a service that we offer. I've got an assistant who will do that all day long, just putting videos onto different locations. So that can work. Can you put it up more than once on YouTube? At the moment, you still can. Not in the same channel. It has to be a different channel, because they'll block it and they'll see it, it's the same. But with they're getting, 60 hours of video every second, something like that being uploaded. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable what they're doing. I think you've picked up a few things, I hope. I hope you're leaving with a little better idea about what video can do for your business than when you came in. You've got a little bit of a homework assignment. I know you didn't come expecting a homework assignment, but if there are things that you want to do for video, you can do that. And I will say to you as well, if you would like what you have in front of you in a PDF, so that all the links are live, so that you can see all those videos over again, just send me an email. The email's at the bottom, Charlie@CharlieTheMarketer. It's not difficult to remember. So I really appreciate all that you have given me in questions. I appreciate your attention. Now go out and create some videos. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.